in this book by Rahmani, where he brings the different, inscriptions, we have the bilingual inscriptions, and one of the really fascinating ones is that there's a man whose name is Yeshua. Let me bring this one up here. So here we have ossuary number 9. And let me tell you about ossuary number 9. It probably originated somewhere in the Jerusalem, was found in the antiquities market. And it says on one side of the ossuary, Yeshua bar Yehoseph. Yeshua is the short form of Yehoshua, right? So it's Yeshua, the son of Joseph. No connection to the man in the New Testament, right? It's a very common name. And on the other side of the ossuary, it says Yeshu. Now, Yeshu, we've been told in the Jewish world, is an acronym that stands for Yamach Shemo V'Zichro, may his name and memory be blotted out, and that the rabbis took the I in the last letter off Yeshua and turned the name Yeshu into a curse. And we find out from this ossuary that that is not true, that is a rabbinical fantasy, that in fact, on the streets of Nazareth, the dirt-covered probably streets of Nazareth, right? I don't know if they had actual cobbled streets, but in the back alleys of Nazareth, his friends probably called him Yeshu. And they never occurred to them it had anything to do with this phrase, may his name or memory be blotted out. On the contrary, it was just the way people spoke. They didn't pronounce the ayin, so Yeshua became Yeshu. And it has nothing to do with what the rabbis say. And this ossuary proves it. And what's interesting is Yeshu is essentially the Aramaic form of Yeshua. In this dialect of Aramaic, they didn't pronounce the ayin, and or maybe in the dialect of Hebrew. In Northern Hebrew, they didn't pronounce the ayin. We know that as well. We've talked about that. And so Yeshua became Yeshu. And we can see this on ossuary number 9. By the way, there's a lot of people who are named Yeshua. So we have Yeshu and Yeshua on ossuary number 9. But then we have, let's see, we have ossuary number 50. And in ossuary number 50, there's a man named Jesus. Jesus is where we get the Greek form that then becomes Jesus in English. Now, I've heard people say, oh, Jesus, that means, oh, hail Zeus. No, it doesn't. Zeus is written with the Greek letter zeta. This is written with the Greek letter sigma. It has nothing to do with Zeus. Jesus is simply a Second Temple Jewish form of Yehoshua, but in the Greek language. In fact, Jesus is exactly like writing Shimon as Simon in Hebrew letters, and here they wrote it Jesus in Greek letters. It's simply how they pronounced it, and you say, wait a minute, why do they have the S at the end? Because Greek names tended to end with a S, like Joseph becomes Josephus, and Yeshua becomes Jesus. And why isn't it Yeshus or Yeshua in Greek? Because remember, Greek doesn't have a sh sound, so it becomes a S. Just like Shimon becomes Simon. That was ossuary number 56. And by the way, in the same ossuary, along with Yeshua or Jesus, is a man named Joseph, which is written as Yoses. Yoses is short for, or in the Hebrew, it's the Greek equivalent of the Hebrew Yose or Yossi, which then is short for Yehoseph or Joseph. Ossuary number 89 mentions a man named John, the son of Jesus, right? John, the son, Yehochanan, the son of Yehoshua, right? These were very common names back then. Ossuary number 113 has a man named Jesus, the son of Judah. So we have numerous people who are named Yeshua. It's a very common name. And here there's another one, ossuary number 114, has Jesus Aloth. I'm not sure what aloth means. Maybe it's aloe. So you have numerous people. I'm not even bringing all of them because we don't have time. But there's numerous people here who have this name. And my point is that somebody named Yeshua in the first century would have been called by some people Yehoshua. Other people would have called him Yeshu, which was the Hebrew nickname. Other people would have called him Jesus, which is the Greek form of that name.